Morning, friends. So, dawn on Sunday the 13th of October, and I'm headed to the station, having had breakfast and frankly an advisable amount of coffee. I'm headed for my last, full day, let's say, in Barcelona, the Sagrada Familia, Sacré-Cœur, and the Parc Güell. Should be a good day. So, having discussed the issue with my mother last night about the ethics of the situation, and having pointed out that I take my shoes off when I go into a mosque, I cover my head when I go into a synagogue, that attending mass deliberately, as it were, wouldn't be an ethical violation. So I decided to get up and get to the Sagrada Familia in time for international mass. In time being a relative term, because mass starts at 9, it's just gone 8 o'clock, and international mass is already full. So either actual Catholics or more dedicated people than myself have gained access. Stunning building, of course, world famous. It is the largest unfinished cathedral in the world. I discussed at some length during my initial Gaudi thing the history of it, but more recent history, shall we say. The now architect, Jordi Faudi, he took over about 20 years ago, and in 2015, nearly 10 years ago, he said that the construction was 70% complete. Does make me laugh. And you can see, large crane. The stone necessary to build the thing, and it is very, very nice stone, was taken from the Montserrat quarry here in Spain, up in the mountains. I mean, it's stunning stone, of course. That stone was, the further they delved in dwarven-like fashion, the more fragile the stone became. There was a problem in the crystallization process, 100 million years ago or whatever. So now they are obtaining the stone from England. There's a quarry near Chorley that provides a very similar kind of kick. But obviously very difficult to get into the shot. I will walk around the thing now and take some quite decent panoramic vistas. The sun's just cresting and is beginning to hit the side, so I'm probably going to go that way. Anyway.
¿Dónde te vas a maquillar?
people leaving their Christmas trees up all year. Like that. I've had some longevity.
Un día al mercado. Y tú riendo, ¿no? Sí. Yo sí. Debería. Te conozco mucho. Un día al mercado, otro día a los bares, otro día a arrastrar culo por la montaña. Yo te digo lo que hay. El uno en el otro tiene talla de su. ¿Quieren ir? Pues muy bien que vayan. Pero que es una raza de los dicharacheros. ¿Y por qué se deja arrastrar por los dicharacheros? Porque él, Antonio, sacará mucho de los dicharacheros. Y la única manera es ser
Yeah, so this was a good idea. Got up, went from Sagrada Familia to Diagonal, then took the local train up to the funicular, got the free, thankfully, funicular up to Valderrera Superior, which is most of the way to the Temple of the Sacred Heart. It was a very good idea. I'll see if I'm still saying that in 15 minutes, 20 minutes when I actually get to the top. But yeah, there are worse views even from here. Right, so I'm halfway up to the Temple of the Sacred Heart. It's a fairly ambling kind of incline, actually. It's not too bad. Behind me there is the Torre del Colserola, which was built in 1991. It is the highest point in Barcelona at 288 meters tall, and it's also on top of a hill, quite a large hill. I'm going to say mountain. It was designed by an architect, Sir Norman Foster, a British guy, and a couple of very talented Spanish civil engineers. It's mostly, of course, for television and telecommunications. There is a pod that you can get into. I don't even know if it's open. I haven't checked. It wasn't my intention to go in. But if you see, it is held up by guidelines for lateral support as well. Yeah, it's really cool. It's one of the reasons I talked myself into this, because it's the halfway point between the funicular and the temple. This area is a playground for motorcyclists and cyclists. I've seen so many. Anyway. Yeah, I've had worse ideas than this. So, down there is the Sagrada Familia, and that is the whole of Barcelona. I do believe that that is an observatory, which is pretty badass. So I am just waiting for a lift to the top of this, which should be incredible views. I assume that this guy is St. George because of the whole armor and dragon thing. So this is the Temple of the Sacred Heart. The foundation stone was laid in 1902, and it was completed and inaugurated in 1961. The idea came from a man called Don Bosco. I'll go into him later. But it was meant to be a reflection of a church that Don Bosco himself had built in Rome, and also, of course, the Temple of the Sacré-Cœur in Paris. So it was meant to be a nice reflection of those two buildings. It's very nice, actually. I mean, obviously this city has many cathedrals, and the Sagrada Familia outshines them all, of course, but this is lovely. It's really very nice. This is the external chapel. It's all right. I kind of like the ceiling more than anything else. The church proper is not open to the public at all, but the first chapel, the platform above it, and the upper levels are open, and so that's where I'm going. Definitely worth the hike.